Alright everybody, welcome to this video where today we'll be going over my net worth, and I kind of just want to take you guys along the journey as to like how I'm doing and like what's going on in my life with like financials and stuff. Shout out to bro keep going, his YouTube channel. If you've never seen his YouTube channel and you've stumbled across my video, definitely check out his video. He's been doing this for so long. He's basically been tracking his net worth for the entire year so far. I'm starting late. I'm starting in November. Technically, I'm going to be doing last month, October. But yeah, for sure, definitely do this if you want to kind of just see where you are in life, and also check out his channel. I stole this template from him. He had it linked in his videos, so I'm just going to be going over my assets and what I got right now, and basically kind of talking about like where my head's at with going forward and stuff. The goal really, there's no real like set number as to what I want to get to, but it's really more like just being prepared, and just being prepared about how do I get there, and how do I steady get there without taking too much risk, and just being very comfortable with what I'm doing. So I'm gonna start with my savings. So I do have a high yield savings account, and I do have quite a bit of money that I do want to move out of there. So as of the end of October, I currently have $6,534 in my savings. So that's including in my high yield savings account, checkings. It is a lot of money to just have for a high yield savings account right now, just because it's not really earning me like as much interest as I want. I do have Discover for my high yield, so that's like about 3.4, 3.5. It's not the highest interest rate you're going to get, but I think it's probably one of the safer accounts to get right now. So yeah, 6,534 currently with that. Now, the next one is 401k. I currently do not have one. And it's not because I don't want one. It's because of the job I'm with. Currently, I started there only a couple months ago, and I needed to be in the job for about 6 months to start. So I will actually start receiving benefits in December. So, which means I will be there next month, and I will be doing their highest match, which only seems to be 3%. Not the highest, but it's still going to be making a difference in my account. Okay, and next I have a Roth IRA, which I literally just opened at the end of October. It's honestly my fault. I just never took the time to open it. And listen, this happens when you're at my age. I'm 23. We tend to not really be thinking about the future as much as we should, and like retirement age and stuff, and like what I'm gonna do in the future when I'm like 55, 60. And it is on me that I just never opened one until literally like the last week of October. And that is gross negligence on my part, because everyone should be opening a Roth IRA as soon as possible. Currently, there is only $97.99 in my Roth IRA as of the end of October. Kind of sad that I just didn't take the time to really like put aside in those accounts. But, there's no better time to start than the present. And I am happy that I did take that step forward into actually doing that. It feels like I should have done that so long ago, especially with the amount of money I've acquired. I should have done that a while ago. I am possibly thinking of moving some of my savings into my Roth IRA, maybe 2 grand into my Roth IRA. And I did miss, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to put $7,000 to max out the Roth IRA by the end of the year. But, I should be putting more into it. As for the Vanguard account, so both my Roth IRA and I do have some index funds, which I've done. So that's in my Vanguard. Okay, in my Vanguard, I do have some mutual funds right now. Just some basic ones, VOO, VGT, and VYM. That's really what I'm in right now. I'm keeping it stupid simple right now just because I'm like, I just want to get that compound interest of 6 to 8%, maybe 10% if I'm lucky. But 6 to 8%, just get that compound interest, just keep putting in every month. I should also say in my Roth IRA, that $97.99 is in VOO. I'm probably going to expand a bit more to expand my portfolio with that as well. But with Vanguard, I'm keeping it kind of stupid, simple with my index funds. As of the end of the month, I am at $766.95. I don't really have a lot in index funds right now, but I am going to be building that up very hard. I'm going to be doing that very hard. And again, I am probably thinking of moving some of my savings into there, and you'll see why in a few, just because I'm going to probably be a bit more aggressive with it. Schwab account. So my Schwab account has tanked. I was making quite a bit of money on Schwab, but unfortunately it has tanked. I was invested in SOXXS, which is basically, in the simplest way in terms, is like thinking that the AI bubble will burst. This is not financial advice, but if the AI bubble does burst, SOSX basically goes up if that's the case. And so the market has been very, very bullish on AI, which means SOXS has kind of tanked in the last few months. This account is now at 366. To just kind of put in perspective, I bought about $4,000 worth of SOSX, which is kind of crazy. So I am going to be kind of playing the long game. And if the AI bubble does kind of burst, I'd be ready to make money. But you also might be saying, why am I also invested in VGT if that's the case in my Vanguard? I am kind of playing on both sides. I'm kind of fence sitting in a way, because it kind of doesn't go hand in hand. If you're invested in VGT, it doesn't make sense to be invested in SOSX. You're kind of like playing on both sides, but I had a lot of money in SOSX, so I am going to be playing the long game. I am going to have diamond hands with it because that just doesn't make sense not to. There is bullion. So I actually do own some silver. Quite a bit of silver, probably more than the average person would at my age. And I bought that back in July just based off of what the market said and kind of just reading up on it, family members talking about it. And I bought about $3,800 worth of silver. The market has gone crazy, and now I am at 4,842 and 49 cents as of the end of October. It has been a good investment. If you were keeping track of bullion, gold and silver, basically skyrocketed in the month of October. There was at one point where my investment kind of went up to about 5,300, and it has kind of tapered back off. I could have sold when silver did go up to about $50 an ounce, but I decided to hold. And based off of what the market is saying, next year could be even crazier off of what the market is saying. So I'm at about 4,802.49, and I believe it's probably going up a little bit more in November. So this has been a really good investment on my part. I do now own two cars. And I do not finance them or anything. These are outright owned cars. One was a gift and the other one I bought. So the first car I do have is both of my cars are old. It's a 2001 Honda Accord, and that, based off of what Kelly Blue Book said, is worth about $2,100. A good car that still works. I have a lot of miles on it, but based off of what exterior looks like, I'd probably get a little bit less for it, but it runs well. It doesn't really have any issues with it. But yeah, about $2,100, which honestly, for as old as that car is, it's a 24-year-old car. It's older than me. The fact that it's worth that much right now is crazy. And then the next car I have is a 2005 Jeep Liberty, which is worth about $2,502 based off of the Kelly Blue Book. This car was a gift from my girlfriend's parents, so we are very happy to have it in our care for completely free, which takes my assets right now to $17,169.43. Looking at that number, it sounds crazy when you put it like that. Like when you just look at the number, it's hard to be like, oh shoot. Like I actually have quite a bit of money and things that can be liquidated very quickly to make money. I am trying to see how I can, probably further my investments in basically my 401k. And once I start getting my 401k now in December, I can easily get to 20,000. Maybe by the end of the year. I don't think so. I don't think I'll get to 20,000 by the end of the year. I think by the end of the year, we'll probably be looking at about 19,000 if I'm lucky. And if gold and silver kind of does well, yeah, we can get to 19,000. If my Schwab does better, there's a possibility we go to 19,000. Again, I am not really the biggest fan of having so much money in savings right now. I'm trying to see how I can further put that 6,500 into more investments. I think my thing is right now, I just really want to disperse my cash properly. I could go down the route of just putting a little by little into each account. So let's say I put about 1,000 in my Roth, then put an extra 1,000 into Vanguard. I think I'm just gonna sit on gold and silver right now at the price it's at. Unless it drops a little bit more, then I'll probably do that. And maybe put an extra 1,000 again into my Roth. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I would love to hear what anyone thinks. Just because, I want to hear from different people's perspectives. So what it is. If you see down below here, I do not have any liabilities. And that's because I pretty much just have a lot more fixed costs. And that's really it. I don't have any car loans. I don't have any rental properties, and I don't have enough money to buy a rental property. I could open a business, get a loan, and open a business. I have a couple ideas of what I would want to do. I just don't think, I'm at that position. I have seen success in just going straight into bullion and getting silver. So, the trade-off for me is like, I didn't buy more index funds, but I did gain about 30% on my returns in gold and silver. So, that seems like a pretty decent trade-off to me. And again, the cars as assets, I don't think I'm selling these cars anytime soon. I might sell the Honda Accord, maybe, but I don't think I'm in a position where I need to sell them. I think I could drive both those cars until the wheels fall off and, be in a good position with that. I am open to using about $3,000 in savings to just do something else, do another investment, do something else that would make me more money in the long term. So I'd love to know people's thoughts and opinions on that. I think November is also going to be a good month. I've already aggressively we're at the start of November, and I've aggressively really taken action to try and make sure that I am putting away as much as possible. All right, I will see you guys next month.